This reading is also known as the parable of the dishonest steward. And I was reading this, I was a little bit confused. Because if you, on the surface, if you don't look at the context, it seems like God's telling us to be kind of bad. But that's not what's going on here, right? So, yes, this steward was wasting the goods of his master, right? So he was not doing his job well. And then after the master is like, okay, you're not going to be my steward anymore, basically fire him, leave him out to dry. And he goes to the Lord's debtors and starts cutting deals with them, basically to get on their good side, so that once he's thrown out of there, they might be friendly to him, basically like call in a favor. He's like, hey, I made a few favors here that I can now call on. So if Jesus is not telling us to be bad, what exactly is he telling us? That's kind of what was going through my mind. I kind of consulted Scott Hahn in his Ignatian study Bible, or Ignatius study Bible. And he points out in there that the steward in this parable is meant to represent Satan. That his end is coming, and what he's basically doing is trying to kind of make a last-ditch effort here, right? And what is worthy of imitation is his cunningness and his wisdom, basically, in this situation, right? There's another part in the Bible that says, be cunning as snakes. So, it's kind of what he's saying here in that regard. And what we can take from that as well is that we should be prepared. Obviously, we don't want to be in the situation where we're a bad steward, that we might lose our position as a steward. Obviously, be a good steward. But there is a need to be wise and prepared. The greater moral teaching that I get out of this is basically through charity, do well. Do well in charity and giving to others. That's the virtuous way. The other thing that this also talks about is that we must be good in the small things. If you actually continue reading, it does say, if you are good in small things, you'll be good in bigger things as well, and vice versa. If you're bad with small things, you'll be bad with bigger things as well. So there is a truth of justice there. And if you go on further, Jesus also says you cannot serve both God and mammon. So, pulling that all together, there is the importance of truly knowing your master. And I think that's where it goes back to, yes, be a good steward. That's where Jesus is going back saying, hey, this is the story I was telling you about. Better, more important thing is to be a good servant to the Lord. So yeah, that one, I'm probably not hitting all the points on that parable. So there's more to that. And like I said, that was a tough one for me. I'm probably going to have to keep reading that and continue to dig into that. There's, I think, much more there that I'm not quite capturing. That being said, what I have so far, what is Jesus telling me specifically? And I think that's the big one here. I think that as I've been going through these gospel reflections, I mean, they've always been meant to be personal reflections, right? But there has been a very strong call of just self-examination. And God keeps bringing me back to that. If I were just to pick any phrase that stands out to me, it's the give an account of thy stewardship. That's a heavy question, or more of a statement, but if Jesus asks you that, think about your life. If he just said, hey, I entrusted these things to you, what have you done with them? And I think that's an important reflection. So, my prayer, my meditation is simply going to be on that. Despite everything else that's in there, that one thing is what I'm going to focus on, is give an account of thy stewardship. I think that's a lot to sit with, so I don't even think I could dive into that now. But maybe that's for you. Maybe God's calling you the same thing, right? Give an account of thy stewardship. And not only that, I think the important part there is also to think about what things has God given me that he is calling me now to use for something, use for him, that I'm not doing. And maybe that's the end goal there, is to find that thing. And we maybe find those things that I'm not using well and be better about those. But maybe there's something that I'm not doing anything with, that God is now calling me to do something with. I don't know. I got to keep praying on that. I think there's something deep here that I do feel the Holy Spirit is calling me to something deep here, and I got to sit with this for a while. Anyway, I'll leave it there. If you have any of your thoughts of your own, any reflections that you want to share, go ahead and drop those in the comments below. And if you do enjoy these reflections, make sure to give the channel a like, or give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bells. That really helps to support the channel. And make sure to check me out on kick.com as well as on my YouTube. That's now where I'm doing my live streaming. If you want to see some of my gaming content, it's a great community, or just have people of faith. And it's just a great place to hang out if you want to meet other Catholics as well. On that note, thank you for listening. Have a good Sunday. Have a good weekend. And God bless.